Hi everyone, welcome back to Frugal Watch Box. Today we're diving into one of Casio's most unique small watches, the LF-20W. It's a compact, tank-style watch with a digital display and a cool digitalized analog feature. I picked up the Casio LF-20W-3A for about $24 a year ago, and honestly, it's become one of my go-to watches. Why? Well, it's practical, packed with useful features, simple to use, and super lightweight. It's the kind of watch you can forget you're wearing until you glance down and appreciate its quirky charm. If you're curious about the unboxing, there's a video linked above. Feel free to check it out. Let's talk about the practicality first. This watch is built for every day, whether you're running errands, working out, or just lounging around. The simplicity of its design makes it easy to read, and its feather-light weight means you'll barely feel it on your wrist. Plus, that digitalized analog display is not just functional, but adds a bit of flair that's hard to ignore. For $24, this little guy has definitely earned its spot in my collection. Now, onto its competitor, the Skmei 2347. This watch is Skmei's take on Casio's LF-20W, and we're here to see how it stacks up. Skmei is known for taking inspiration from classic designs, and in this case, they've gone all in on replicating Casio's charm. But does it truly capture the essence of the original, or is it just another knockoff? Let's find out together. Spoiler alert, the copying effort here is pretty obvious, right down to the digital display style and tank-like structure. But hey, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, or so they say. First, let's get into the specifics of Casio's LF-20W. Here are the dimensions. Case size, about 33.7 millimeters. Lug-to-lug distance, around 37.8 millimeters. Thickness, a slim 8.6 millimeters. Lug width, roughly 16 millimeters. Weight, only 23 grams. It's compact, lightweight, and perfect for those who prefer smaller, unassuming watches. Now moving on to the Skmei 2347. I got this watch for just $7 straight from China. Let's unbox it, or well, unpouch it, since the cheapest option comes in simple plastic packaging. You can choose to buy it with a box or a can, but why spend extra when you can keep it frugal? Here it is, Skmei's copy of the iconic Casio LF-20W. Let's check out the documentation first. The manual covers features like operation modes, timekeeping, world time, alarms, countdowns, and a stopwatch. On paper, it looks just as feature-rich as the Casio LF-20W. Now let's talk about first impressions. The Skmei 2347 looks decent at a glance, but the poor angle visibility is immediately noticeable. We'll get into more details on that later. For now, let's remove the watch tag and take a closer look. It seems that Skmei has updated its logo to this much more attractive one, featuring the Skmei name and a red arrowhead pointing down. I have to admit, it's an improvement from their previous colorful logo, which you can see on the screen. The new design feels more modern and professional. Plus, they've added a motto, "Just watch me." Now, isn't that an interesting tagline? It's bold, almost like a challenge to the competition and a statement of confidence. "Just watch me" suggests they're not afraid to show off their style and functionality. It's like Skmei's way of saying, "We're here, we're capable, and we're ready to impress." Whether it lives up to that claim is what we're here to explore. There's no protective sticker on the glass, but there is one on the case back. Let's take that off. Now that it's removed, let's review the watch itself. The case design is quite similar to Casio's, though it's slightly larger in size. When compared side by side, the Skmei is noticeably bigger. This brings us to the display. The Casio's display is much sharper, with clear and crisp digits. The Skmei, on the other hand, has a transparent display where you can still faintly see other digits in the background. This results in a viewing angle problem. You can only see a clear display on the Skmei when you flip it to the right. Definitely not ideal. Another noticeable difference is the partition of the 4 panels. On the Skmei, the partitions seem to be physical, while on the Casio, they're part of the digital display. The Casio handles viewing angles effortlessly. No matter how you tilt it, the display remains sharp and legible. The Skmei, however, struggles with visibility when flipped to the left. This is a clear example of why quality matters. Now let's look at Skmei's 2347 dimensions. Case size, about 35.9 millimeters, making it 2.2 millimeters larger than the Casio. Lug-to-lug distance, around 40.8 millimeters, 3 millimeters longer than the Casio. Thickness, approximately 10.4 millimeters, 1.8 millimeters thicker. Lug width, about 17 millimeters. Back to the Casio LF-20W. The case and band come in a cream color. The case, bezel, and crystal are made of resin. It also features 4 stainless steel buttons. The 2 on the right control light and search, while the 2 on the left handle mode and adjust. Now for the Skmei. Its case is white and the band is black. The styling is similar to the Casio, albeit in a larger size. The glass, case, and bezel are also made of resin. As for the buttons, there are 4 of them too, but it's unclear if they're stainless steel or just plated metal. On the right, you'll find buttons for start and light, while on the left are buttons for mode and reset. This layout differs slightly from the Casio's configuration. The Casio's dial is gray on top, while the black and white display panel sits in the middle. The Casio logo proudly takes its spot on top of the panel, and the WR imprint rests at the bottom. By the way, this watch is water-resistant up to 30 meters, which means it can survive a splash or 2. Just don't go scuba diving with it. Just above the WR imprint, you'll find tiny labels. DST for daylight saving time, ALM for alarm, SIG for hourly time signal, and mute. If any of these features are activated, a line appears on top of the respective label to confirm its function. For instance, here the DST is activated, and you can see the little line above it doing its job. On the Skmei, the panel is black with the Skmei logo on top. At the bottom, you'll spot the world time and countdown imprints. Unlike the Casio, Skmei doesn't include tiny imprints to show which features are activated. Instead, these indicators probably show up directly on the display panel. A simpler approach, but some might call it less informative. Now, let's dive into the display panels. On the Casio, to the left, you'll find a large analog watch display with its hour, minute, and second hands. It's straightforward and functional. On the top right, there's a circle inside a black box. This has an animation resembling a second count, which synchronizes with the other indicators. Below that is the day, date, and month display, with the day indicator slightly larger for quick reference. At the bottom sits the digital hour, minute, and second display, clean and easy to read. The Skmei features a similar setup. On the top left, there's a large analog watch, complete with hour, minute, and second hands. The hands are bluish in color, providing contrast against the black hour markers. You'll also notice transparent minute markers in the background, adding to its complexity. Here, Skmei scores some points for aesthetics. However, the Casio's analog watch is clearer and less cluttered, which is a win for functionality. Moving on to the top right of the Skmei, there's another circle with white lines indicating hour and minute markers. However, the animations inside are random and don't follow any movement sequence. A bit of a letdown if you're into precise details. On the bottom right, it has a similar day, date, and month display like the Casio. At the very bottom is the hour, minute, and second panel. The digits are large, but as mentioned before, they struggle with viewing angles. Speaking of viewing angles, this is where things get interesting. The Skmei's display has terrible viewing angles. If you're not looking at it from just the right angle, you might see other digits ghosting in the background, making it tricky to read the time or date. You'll need to flip it just right to get a clear view. On the other hand, the Casio's display is perfect from all angles. Whether you're checking the time head-on or glancing from the side, it remains crisp and clear. Now let's talk about why investing in a quality watch like Casio is worth it. A good watch isn't just about telling the time. It's about reliability, durability, and ease of use. Casio's reputation for quality ensures you're getting a product that lasts, with a display that's clear, features that work seamlessly, and a build that can handle everyday life. Skmei, while more affordable and feature-packed, falls short in areas like display clarity and consistency. When you're wearing a watch, you don't want to struggle to read the time or second-guess its reliability. With Casio, you're not just buying a watch, you're buying peace of mind. That's something worth investing in, don't you think? The strap on the Casio is a standard Casio strap, cream in color and blending perfectly with the case. This strap is durable and can last a few years with proper use. The black resin buckle also features the Casio logo. On an original Casio strap, you'll find numbers and letters imprinted on the underside. The stainless steel case back is secured with 4 screws and includes imprints of the Casio logo, water resistance rating, module and model numbers, and other details. The Skmei's black resin band, while decent, doesn't match the case color and feels less reliable for long-term use. Unlike the Casio, there are no imprints on the underside of the strap, indicating it might be a generic band source for the watch. The stainless steel buckle lacks any logo, making it unclear if it's genuine stainless steel or simply brass. The case back includes an imprint of the updated Skmei logo, the model number, a water resistance rating of 3 ATM, and the battery code. It also features 4 screws securing it to the main case. Let's look at the features of these watches. Casio LF-20W features. World time. Tracks 4 different cities with 31 time zones, 48 cities plus UTC, daylight saving on off, and home/world city swapping. Stopwatch. 1/100 second precision, up to 23:59 minutes 59.99 seconds. Modes include elapsed time, split time, and first to second place times. Countdown timer. 24-hour range, adjustable in 1 second, 1 minute, or 1 hour increments. Alarms. 5 daily alarms or one-time alarms, plus an hourly time signal. Light. Amber LED backlight with selectable durations, 1.5 or 3 seconds. And afterglow. Calendar. Full auto calendar valid until 2099. Mute feature. Button operation tones can be toggled on or off. Water resistance. 30 meters. Accuracy. Plus or minus 30 seconds per month. Other features. 12 24-hour format and standard digital timekeeping, hour, minute, second, PM, month, date, day. Skmei 2347 features. 13-digit display for hour, minute, second, year, month, day, and 12 24-hour format. Daylight saving time and world time, including 31 time zones and 48 cities. Alarm mode with 5 alarms and an hourly time signal. Countdown timer and stopwatch. Electroluminescence backlight and keytones. When comparing features, both watches offer similar functionality on paper. However, the Casio's execution is significantly better with a more intuitive interface and dependable performance. The Skmei may check off the same feature boxes, but its lack of clarity and poor viewing angles diminish its usability. Now, let's examine the backlight performance. The Casio's amber LED backlight is clear and bright, making it easy to read the display in low light conditions. The uniform lighting ensures that every detail is visible without any distracting shadows or inconsistencies. The Skmei's electroluminescence, EL, backlight, while technically brighter, suffers from the display's inherent issues. The background digits remain visible even with the backlight on, creating a cluttered and distracting view. In my opinion, the Casio's amber light is far superior for practical use. On the wrist, both watches offer a balanced presence on my modest 6.5-inch wrist. They strike the perfect size, not too big to feel overwhelming and not too small to go unnoticed. The Casio's cream strap complements its case beautifully, giving it a clean and understated look. The Skmei, while slightly larger, manages to sit comfortably as well. However, the mismatched black strap and white case slightly detract from its overall aesthetic. Alright, so let's settle this showdown. Casio LF-20W versus Skmei 2347. Which one should you buy? Well, let me break it down for you in simple terms, with a sprinkle of humor to keep things interesting. 1. For the budget hunters. If your wallet's on a diet, go for the Skmei 2347. I mean, it's just $7. $7? That's cheaper than your favorite fast food meal combo. Sure, it's not perfect. The viewing angles are, let's just say, questionable, and the strap feels like it might not survive a harsh winter. But hey, for the price, it tells time, has some cool features on paper, and lets you join the I own a quirky digital watch club. 2. For the practical folks who like things at work. This is where the Casio LF-20W comes in clutch. It's like the dependable friend who always has your back. The display is crystal clear, the backlight is actually useful, and it's so lightweight you might forget it's even on your wrist, until you glance down and go, oh yeah, my watch is cool. It's $24, but honestly, that's the price of practicality and not needing to squint at the screen every time you check the time. 3. For the originality enthusiasts. Now, if you value originality and don't want to be caught with a meme knockoff, the Casio LF-20W is your jam. Sure, the Skmei tries hard to be the LF-20W's stunt double, but it's like comparing a blockbuster movie to its low-budget parody. The Casio has that quality, durability, and flair that say, yeah, I'm the real deal. Plus, the strap actually matches the case color, because details matters. The verdict. If you're pinching pennies, Skmei 2347. It's cheap and cheerful, but might leave you with a you-get-what-you-pay-for moment. If you like things that actually work well, Casio LF-20W. It's reliable, practical, and just feels right. If you care about originality and long-term value, Casio LF-20W, hands down. So, bottom line? The Casio LF-20W is like your favorite meal at a diner. Simple, satisfying, and it never disappoints. The Skmei? It's more like a mystery dish from the dollar menu. Interesting to try, but might leave you questioning your choices. Choose wisely. And there you have it, folks. 2 watches, one frugal, one practical, and one that might just make you question your life choices. Looking at you, Skmei. But whatever you choose, just remember, it's all about what works best for you. If you're loving this comparison, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more watch battles. I think that's the end of the video, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing and giving it a like. It really helps out the channel. See you again in the next one. Bye for now.